Om. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Dhyanam Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Ambatvam Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Tutra Vetraika Parnaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Duhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamrutam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadratha Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhanavatini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharyavacha Saroja Mamalam Gita Gandhokatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Karimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Bande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divya Istavai Vedai Sangha Kramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Jhanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrusham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Hrudyana Gamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham.
Namaste. So today it's 14th session, chapter number 12, Bhakti Yoga, the shortest chapter, but I think we'll get the full hours discourse from Dr. G on this. And next slide, Doctor. Okay. Happy Diwali to everyone. So this is for all the deities. Let me light the lamp for Ganapati and meditate on his glories. Worshipped by saints and sages, the tranquil one that enjoyed scribing the Gita for all of us, understanding and contemplating each and every word, and paving the path for us to follow. Let me light the lamp for Aditya and contemplate on his energy, worshipped by the skilled archer Rama in the battlefield of good over evil, and obtaining the energy to vanquish the evil, representing the darkness in our hearts. Let me light the lamp for Rama. You are the universe itself, with the sun and its reflection, the moon, your eyes. With deep contemplation, inquiry, and search, let me find the light of wisdom to realize that you are everything and everything is within you. Let me light the lamp for Krishna, who is beyond even the Vedas, who taught the way of life to Arjuna and all of us too, the towering presence among men, and who was that primordial person, himself in flesh and blood, born to move the world forward towards righteousness and justice.
Namaste. Can you hear me? Okay. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Matre Namaha. Gomatre Namaha. Gita Matre Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Sabhayai Namaha. Saluting Ganesha, Saraswati Mata, Guru Parampara, Gita Mata, Veda Mata, Jagat Guru Shri Krishna Parabrahma, and this August Assembly on this auspicious day of Deepavali. Deepa, lamp, light. Avali, a row. So it is a row of lamps. And today we shall light the lamp of Bhakti. Let's revel in Bhakti Yoga, the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The last chapter in Madhyama Shatka or Bhakti Shatka. We have talked about Tattvamasi Mahavakya. Tvam is our journal, our diary, our manual. That is dealt with in the first 6 chapters, Karma Yoga. Tatta, that supreme consciousness, is dealt with in the second 6 chapters. And that culminates in Bhakti Yoga. Karmana jayate bhakti. So when we do karma, when we embark into the action, may be selfish in the beginning. When it's dharmic, it automatically leads us to a selfless attitude. And there generates bhakti. Bhaktya jnanam upajayate. And when these two are endowed, karma becomes karma yoga. Karma with bhakti produces jnana. Then jnanat, then karma becomes again karma yoga. So it is a cyclical thing. It is like a prism. One cannot be separated from the other. saluting all the gurus, and saluting Vyasa Maharshi, saluting Narada Maharshi, especially for this chapter, because his greatest text, Narada Maharshi's greatest text that we know of is Bhakti Sutras, Narada Bhakti Sutrani, Narada Bhakti Sutras. Narada, Nara means Jnanam. Da means giver. And Nara means a group of Naras, Jivas. Ayanam means abode. So Narayana, the abode of all the Jnanam, abode of all the Jivas. Naram dadati iti Naradaha. Narada Maharshi defines Bhakti as Swarupa Anusandhanam. Bhakti iti abhidiyate. It is Shankaracharya's definition, actually. We'll come to Narada Maharshi's. Swarupa Anusandhanam. It is an appointment and a meeting, a special personal meeting with the self. So we meeting with our own inner self. Swatma tattva anusandhanam bhaktihi iti apare jaguhu. Moksha sadhana samagryam bhaktihi eva gariyasi, bhaktireva gariyasi, bhaktireva gariyasi. Of all the equipment, equipment apparently is a plural word. So, of all the equipments, if you have to understand, moksha sadhana, to achieve moksha, the first and foremost equipment, instrument is bhakti. So bhakti, etymologically, if you look at it, is seva. The root word is bhaja. Bhaja sevayam. Bhakti comes from bhaja. Yukti, yoga, comes from yuj, union. So bhakti comes from bhaja. Bhaja sevayam. So bhaja means seva. Seva means to serve. Maybe serve, the English word, came from seva, the Sanskrit word. So sarva, service, to serve the Lord. And we have seen who is that Lord? Lord is nothing but Vishwam. The manifestation of the Lord is all these bhutas. Ahamatma gudakesha sarva bhutasaya sthitaha. Ahamadischa madhyamcha bhutanam antayevacha. So bhakti reva gariyasi, of all moksha sadhana samagri. These are some of the greatest Sanskrit poems. We shall just dwell on this before getting into the chapter. Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya cha vayo vidya gajendrasya kam kubjaya kimunama rupamadhikam kim tat sudhamno dhanam vamsakko vidurasya yadavapate rugrasya kim paurusam bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunair bhakti priyo madhavaha. Vyadha, he was a butcher. He was also called Dharma Vyadha. Kaushika, a rishi, was sent by a Gruhini to Vyadha to learn the essence of Vedanta. So Vyadhasya acharanam kim, what is his occupation? What is his vocation? He was a butcher. Dhruvasya cha vayo. Kaha. Dhruva, the little young boy, what is his age? The one who was taught by Narada Maharshi to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. With that, he could please Vishnu. Vidya Gajendrasya ka. In Gajendra Mokshanam, we see Gajendra. What school did he go to? Kubjayaha kimu nama rupam adhikam. Kubja, when the little Krishna was brought from Nandakula or Nandagruha to Mathura, he sees this Kubja who actually serves in the palace by taking care of the fragrances. So she is a beautician. She herself has no beauty to talk about. And the very touch of Lord Krishna made her so beautiful. So Kubjayaha kimunama rupa madhikam. So before she was touched, seen by Krishna. Kim tat sudhamno dhanam. Sudhama, what is his treasure to talk about? He was called Kuchela. Kuchela. He didn't even have a chela, proper vastra. So ku means the torn, the bad one, the dirty one. So that's dirty means not dirty, like a torn one, let us say, torn one. Vamshakko Vidurasya Vamshaha kaha. Vidura was Dasiputra. Yadavapatehe Ugrasya kim paurusham. Kamsa's father, Ugrasena Maharaja, was put in prison. So what valor did he have to come out of the prison? All these people, they made Madhava, Krishna happy with bhakti only. Bhaktya mama bhijanati yavan yaschamsa tattvataha. So jnatum drashtum cha tattvena pravestum cha parantapa. To know him, to see him, and to enter his realm, and to become one with him. What is needed is nothing other than bhakti. So once more, Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka. Kubjayaha kimunama rupamadhikam kim tat sudhamno dhanam. Vamshakko vidurasya yadavapate rugrasya kim paurusham. Bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunaihi bhakti priyo madhavaha. So Madhava, Maunat, Dhyanat, Yogat, Mam Vidhi Pandava. Krishna himself says, I am called Madhava because I can only be known through Mauna, Dhyana, and Yoga. So that Dhyana, in that Dhyana, we become closer to ourselves, closer to the Supreme Self, which is within us. So Narada Bhakti Sutras. Sutra means, we have talked about Narada, Naram Dadati, Bhakti, Bhaja Sevayam. Sutra. Sutra means the one which is very succinct. Alpaksharam, very few words. Asandigdham, there is no room for any doubt. Asamshayam. Alpaksharam, asandigdham. Saravatta visvato mukham. And the essence of that is universal. Not just to you, not just to somebody, someplace, sometime. Saravat Vishwato Mukham. Alpaksharam Asandigdham Saravatta Vishwato Mukham. Then it is Astokam, Anavadyam. It is limitless. And Anavadyam, you cannot pinpoint a mistake in it. So Anavadyam. Sutram Sutra Vido Viduhu. And there, very few words. You can see Athato Bhaktim Vyakhyāsyāmaha. Atha, Ataha Bhaktim Vyakhyāsyāmaha. Now, therefore, now means now is time. We read all Karma Yoga. We read all about this Bhakti Yoga so far, and we have heard about Vibhuti of Lord. We have seen not only the Vibhuti, but Yoga of the Lord. And now this is the time we talk about Bhakti. What is it? Sa means that Bhakti, feminine gender, Bhakti. Satu asmin parama prema rupa. Asmin parama prema rupa. That in him, asmin, or tasmin, parama prema rupa, the ultimate love, the selfless love, unconditional love. So it is an unconditional love. Amrita Swarupacha, immortal. There is no death to it. It is not limited. It is not limited by time, space, and a person. Yallabdhva puman siddho bhavati, amruto bhavati, trupto bhavati. Having achieved this, the person, masculine or feminine person, siddhaha bhavati, has accomplished everything. Amruto bhavati, he becomes immortal. Trupto bhavati, very satiated, very happy, very blissful. And in Sivananda Lahari, Shankaracharya describes bhakti by giving 3 or 4 comparisons. Ankolam nija bija santati rayas kantopalam suchika. Ankolam nija bija santati rayas kantopalam suchika. Sadhvi naija vibhum lata kshitiruham sindhus saridvallabham. Prapnoti yatha tadha pashupate padara vindadvayam cheto vrittirupetya tisthati sada sa bhaktirityuchyate. Ankola is a tree, there you see. Now there are very few left. So when Ankola's trees seeds fall, they don't go far away. They actually, even if they fall a little bit away, they come closer to the tree, and then another tree is born. So they're automatically attracted and drawn towards mother tree. Ankolam nijabija santati ayaskantopalam suchika. This we know very well. Just put a needle and then put an ayaskantam, the magnet. How effortlessly, how automatically, how so naturally that needle is drawn towards the magnet. Sadhvi naija vibhum. The loved, the beloved, as she rushes towards the lover, Sadhvi naija vibhum. Lata akshitiruham. Like a twig, as it just goes round the trunk of the tree. Sindhus saridvallabham yadha nadinam. So like all the rivers, how they enter the ocean. In the same way, the mind is drawn of a bhakta towards your feet, O Parameshwara. That is real bhakti. So once again, Sivananda Lahari, Ankolam nijabija santati rayaskantopalam suchikam sadhvi naija vibhum lata kshitiruham sindhus saridvallabham prapnoti yatha tadha pashupate padara vindadvayam cheto vrittirupetya tisthati sada sa bhaktirityuchyate. That having got na kinchit vanchati, na shochati, na ramate, na tushyati. So, he is udasina. He is just, or she has just crossed all these. So, the above and beyond, the pleasure and pain, the happiness and sorrow. Yajñatva matto bhavati. It is like an intoxication, this true bhakti. Stabdho bhavati, becomes so rigid and inactive, as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Mirabai have gone through that state. Stabdho bhavati. Atma Ramo bhavati, they revel in themselves. And one more introductory thing, and then before we get into the chapter, these bhaktas, they do not have any great qualifications to talk about, other than pure, unconditional love towards the Supreme Lord. And the Bhakta Kannappa, you can see it in Sri Kalahasti Kshetra, you'll see Kannappa, because he has given, Kanno means his eye, so he has given the eye for Lord Shiva, so he's called Kannappa. He was a hunter. And how did he worship Shiva? Margavartita paduka pasupate rangasya kurchayate. Gandu shambu nishechanam puraripo divyabhishekayate. Kinchit bhakshita mamsa sesakabalam navyopaharayate. Bhakti kim nakaroti raho vanacharo bhaktavatamsayate. The wayfarer sandals, they became Kusa, crown of Pashupati. So he took his sandals to clean all the dry leaves which were there on Sivalinga. Then he brought some water to do Abhisheka, not in a container, but he just a gulp of water, mouthful of gargled water, that became a holy water to bathe you. And then he hunted, he killed a deer, and he tasted the pieces of it after cooking, and then the remaining meat, he brought it because he thought it was the best meat. Kinchit bhakshita mamsa sesha kabalam navyopaharayate. That is an Naivedyam for you. And his gargled water is Divya Abhisheka for you. And his sandal is your Ranga's Kurcha, the Marjala, the sweeper. Bhakti kimna karoti. So what devotion cannot do? Oh, this Vanachara, he's the king of all bhaktas. So once more, Marga Vartita Paduka Pashupate Rangasya Kurchayate Gandu Shambu Nishechanam Puraripo Divyabhisekayate Kinchit Bhakshita Mamsa Sesha Kabalam Navyopaharayate Bhakti Kim Nakaroti Raho Vanacharo Bhaktavatamsayate. So having seen all these from 10th chapter and the 11th chapter, as Lord said, Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. And if you want to know, I am that essence in the water, and whatever you see, Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya Prabhasma Surya Yoho. After giving the examples, close to 100, now, Yad Yad Vibhuti Matsatvam Srimadurjitameva Va Tatta Deva Vagachatvam Mamatejom Sasambhavam. Then after seeing Aneka Bahu Udara Vaktra Netram, Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, and that's Shatashaha, Sahasrashaha after he has seen, then Lord also has enumerated so many, but also talked about these Mahatmas. They worship me as one or many, or any of the many forms. Ekatvena pruthaktena bahudha visvato mukham. Ekatvena, as just with one pointedness, just one and one only. And in fact, the one who has written Krishna Karnamrutam was a Shiva Bhakta. And the one who has written Shiva Karnamrutam is a Krishna Bhakta. So it is just their Ishtadevata, their Ishtadevata. And seeing the Lord in every form, Namadeva and others, so when they were eating, and then a dog comes and then takes their roti, and he says, Krishna, take this butter too, to go with the roti. So they could see like that. Sai Baba. So all these, this is worshipped the Supreme Consciousness in the form, in the name, or without form, without name, or Vishwarupa. Evam, in this way, it's called Anuprashna. Satata yukta ye bhaktaha tvam paryupasate. Those who worship you always this way, of them, echap yaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. And those who see you as that avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate, that avyakta, achintya, avikarya, in that form, or as we have seen that you are Adityanam Aham Vishnuhu Jyotisham Raviram Shuman. So in that form, Sthavaranam Himalaya Srotasam Asmi Janhavi. Of these two, Who is better? Arjuna is asking. And Krishna, very instantly, very immediately, so cleverly and so nicely, not putting anyone down, he answers this so intelligently and so perfectme and so profoundly. Maya veshyamano yemam nityayukta upasate shraddhaya parayopeta te me yukta tamamataha. He whose mind is fixed on my personal form, because this has been stressed, manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji imam namaskuru mat karma krun mat paramo mad bhakta sangha varjitaha. So that who is endowed with me, who is fixed on me, who is always engaged in knowing me, thinking of me, with that Shraddha. Shraddha is Guru Vakyeshu Shastreshu. So Guru Vakyeshu Shastra Vakyeshu Pragadha Vishwasaha. So that is Shraddha. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. Tagore says, faith is that bird that feels the light and sings the light when the dawn is still dark. To look at it is still dark, but she knows, she feels that light is coming. She can see the light. She can feel the light. So they are great. It is Shraddha which is needed. It is love towards me, O Arjuna, and that is greater than anything else. So the worship of nameless and formless, no doubt it is great, but it is difficult. Etvaksharama nirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyam cha kutasthamachalam dhruvam samniyamyendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. They are siddhas. They are these great people. They are sarvabhuta hitasa. Sarvabhuta hite ratas. They revel, they derive their happiness in doing good for all. Sarvabhuta hita, rata means rati. So they revel, they are so attached, they enjoy in doing good for the world. How? Samniyamya indriya gramam. Indriya gramam, the group, the horde of all our senses, samniyamya, so controlling their mind and controlling their senses. Sarvatra samabuddhayaha, these are sthita prajnas, always in that state of equipoise. They upasate, asate, staying closer. Staying, asate is seated. Upasate, staying closer. Pariupasate, in every state, at every time, in every place, with everyone, so that they are so closely situated in me, so closer to me. Worshipping me how? Aksharam, Aksharam Brahma Paramam, the one which is imperishable. Anirdeshyam, Anirvachyam, Anirvachyam. Narada Bhakti Sutra says, Anirvachyam. And it is Parama Prema Swarupa. Then how can you, is it manifest? No, Avyaktam. And where is it? Sarvatragam. Sarvatragam, the one which has gone everywhere. Sarvavyapi. Achintyam, it cannot be easily available to manas or words. So that, having gone there, you come back, vacha and manasa, because words and mind cannot, but ekagra buddhi. That buddhi, manmana bhava madbhakta, that one which is endowed, that sharp intellect, I can take the mind along with you, but mind alone cannot go. Achintyam. Kutastham. Kuta means Maya. Kuta means anvil. So yogastha, like chairastha, bedastha, sofastha. In the same way, kutastha, the one who is situated in Maya. So Mayantu Prakritim Vidhi, Mayinamtu Maheshwaram. So Swamayaya, the one with Prakriti, Purusha, we see that in the next chapter. So Achalam, the one doesn't move anywhere, because if it is at point A, it can move to point B. But if it is Sarvavyapi, it is there at point A and point B, where is to go? Dhruvam, and it is always there. So those who worship this nameless and formless, no doubt, they Mameva Prapnuvanti. They get hold of me. They eva Prapnuvanti Mam. They only actually get me. They Mam Prapnuvanti eva. There is nothing else, no other result other than just me as the goal. See the word, the play of the words. Mam eva Prapnuvanti. Mam Prapnuvanti eva. Te eva Mam Prapnuvanti. So they only get me. But if you look at, they get me only, and they get me as the result and no other result from this. Because prema or bhakti is the fruit of bhakti and prema. See the beauty. What is the fruit of bhakti? Bhakti reva. Bhakti reva. But this is difficult, because that anirvachaniya, you say it is not definable. It is not something to think of with ordinary mind. It is not a manifest. And it is actually with Maya, because now Maya, we can't say it is there or not. Then the one who is in that. Klesho dhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbhira vapyate. So, because we have deha, we have a name, we have a form, it is so easy for us to identify someone with a name and form. So suppose we haven't given a name, you can't even talk about it. Suppose you have given a name, Gudgudayi, you have not seen. Then you keep asking, is it like a dog? Is it like a cow? Does it have two horns? So now you have to ask. So that's why, because we have Deha, we have a name, we have a form, it is so easy to identify the Vyakta. Otherwise, this Avyakta, Akshara, Anirdeshya, Achala, Kutastha is difficult for an ordinary mind. And I'll tell you the easy way, O Arjuna. Yetu sarvani karmani mayasanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesham aham samudhatta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya vesita chetasam. All the actions before you begin, while you are doing, and after it is done, just matparaha bhava. So think of me. So think of me. Be an instrument in my hand. Be an instrument in my hand. For them who become instruments in my hand. Because when you become an instrument, when you become a divine instrument, like wind god, who is a divine instrument, like fire god, who is a divine instrument, like the waters, like Ganga Bhavani, like any river, it's a divine instrument. So they all, like a tree, Paropakaraya phalanti vriksha. Paropakaraya phalanti vriksha. Paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha. Paropakaraya duhanti gavaha. Paropakararthamidam sariram. Then you think of the world. You just don't think of I, me, myself, my and my own. But you think of the world. You think of the nature, you think of the universe, you think of the existence, you think of the progress of not only you, but all others along with you. So this is the ultimate bhakti, upasana, which is taught. Then there are certain steps given, steps. So it's one step leading to the other. You cannot say one is better than the other, even though Between Sakara and Nirakara, Nirakara is ultimate, Nirakara Upasana is ultimate. But Sakara, you cannot downgrade it. Through Sakara, you will reach Nirakara. Even if you don't reach Nirakara, you end up with Sakara, that's fine. Because Tyagaraja himself says, I don't know what that moksha is. I'm so thoroughly enjoying with this bhakti. Let me just live my life like this, just enjoying, praising you, loving you, and knowing you. So, Mayeva mana adhasva, Maya buddhim nivesaya, nivasishyasi Mayeva, atavodham na samsayaha. Just fix your mind upon me. Ekatvena pruthatvena. If you like 5 different gods, that's fine. Then if you like one Ishta Devata, that's fine. Because eventually you will see me. As Vivekananda has said, not knowing just the alphabets completes the knowledge of a language. You go beyond the alphabets. So these Vigrahas, Murtis and all, so you see that Parabrahma in that Vigraha and Murti. That is a state. And when we go and then do Namaste, we actually close our eyes to see that we came all the way. In Tirupati, we spend hours. And then by the time you go and then you see that Balaji, that 3 seconds before he pushes out and you just close and then just do Namaskara and come out. So that you want to see that Balaji within you. Mayeva mana adhastva, maya buddhim nivesaya. Fix your mind upon me. Fix your intellect upon me. Think logically. And then you go beyond logic. Then only you will understand. So where the science ends, the philosophy begins. Where the philosophy ends, the spirituality begins. And where the spirituality ends, the experience begins. And the experience is an expression of that love they come with. That is a package. So this is Bhaktireva Phalam. So what is Bhakti's Phalam? Bhaktireva. Then how is it possible? How is it possible? Abhyasa. We have talked about Abhyasa Yogena Tato Mamichhaptam Dhananjaya. So this Abhyasa Yoga, we have seen that in the 8th chapter. And we have seen Abhyasa in the past also. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. So practice. So we have to train our mind. Not tame the mind, but train the mind. Train the mind. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknosi mayisthiram. So if it is difficult, even that sthira, chira, asana is difficult. If it is difficult to bring, Shanai Shanai Ruparame, in the 6th chapter it is said. But even if you say that it is so difficult to sit on the yoga mat and then think of you, meditate upon you, Abhyasa Yogena Tato Mamichhaptam Dhananjaya. So practice. So practice what? Practice your action, dedicating unto me. So Abhyasa Yogena Tato Mamichhaptam Dhananjaya. So even if you say that this practice is difficult, meditation is difficult. Meditation is what? Meditation is, it is an experience. It is an experience. It is a process where you experience the self within self. Experiencing the self within self. So this meditation, in the heat of meditation, Swami Chinmayananda says, in the heat of meditation, the seeds of vasanas are toasted. Then that mala is gone. That vikshepa is gone. Then avarana is gone. Then you will see that self like you see the pebbles in a clear lake. When that, the avarana, that mist is gone. When vikshepa, when the waves are settled, when mala, when the dirt is settled, that's when you see clearly. But if it is difficult to practice, abhyasepya samathosi matkarma paramo bhava. So think of doing my act. So my act is what? My act is to do good for everyone. So that loka sangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi. Madatthamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. So when you are engaged in that selfless activity or service of the humans, because service of man is service of Madhava. So Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. Jana Seva is Janardana Seva. But if you say even that is difficult, I'm so busy with my work. 7 to 7, when I come home, I'm so tired, and then just dinner and then I hit the bed. That's fine. Just for a moment. Just for a moment. Athaita tapya shaktosi kartum madhyogam ashritaha sarva karma phalatyagam tathak kuruyat atmavan. So whatever work you are doing, just say unto him, unto him. Because when Einstein says that, Thomas Edison said that, when they failed in experiments time and again, you realize that there is something more, something more, which is inspiring, which is within you, which ignites. And when that light is ignited, that's when the spurana comes. That's when the knowledge comes. That's when it is unrevealed. So that's why it's called discovery. Discovery. Because it was covered before. Now it is discovered. So that is how it is. Now you see, Virat Kohli, after winning the game, he looked up. Because there is something more, which is within him, which made it possible. So now unto him. Sarva karma phalatyagam. And now if you talk about, no doubt Arjuna, jnana, knowing is better than abhyasa. So abhyasa here can be taken as mere ritual, because ritual is also pujadishu prema. Pujadishu anuragaha. Vyasa Maharshi says, bhakti means pujadishu anuragaha. Ritual, start with ritual, even if you do not know. But then you will know the meaning of the ritual. That is great when you know the meaning of the ritual. You light the lamp because you are lighting the lamp to dispel the ignorance, ajnana. So when you know that, then Deepam Jyoti Param Jyoti, then that becomes a divine thing. So that ritual becomes spiritual. Because if you see in spiritual, the ritual is already there. So ritual becomes spiritual. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. So just doing the mere ritual, if you know the meaning of it, then that is jnanam. So that is better. But if you just know, you can read so many books, and then what is Hinduism, and then what is the meaning behind all the rituals. Jnanat dhyanam visishyate. So contemplate on that. You experience for yourself. Because when Ranganathananda says, Swami Ranganathananda, when you go to a teacher, they won't ask you, what did you read? Did you read all 700 verses? Did you read all 18 Puranas? And they say, did you experience? So jnanat dhyanam visishyate. But dhyanam is not that easy. Dhyanam, dhyanam means, so it is actually traveling in that path, your intellect traveling in that path to reach the goal. But the means also the goal. The goal is also the goal. So the means itself is also, the journey is also a pleasure. Reaching the goal is also a pleasure. But dhyana, it is not easy for everyone, because of our mentality, our personality, and our vasanas, and our nature. Then karma phalatyagaha, that is the best. Because once you do that, you have to unload. Once you unload, once you get rid of that, you become so light. Light means what? Tyaga, shanti anantaram. This tyaga, because of this tyaga, shantihi anantaram. Then comes this shanti. So the shanti is where all the difficulties are forgotten. All the sorrows and worries are subdued. So, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam visishyate, dhyanat karma phalatyagaha, tyagat shantiranantaram. And now, So how is this person to look at? And what are these characteristics? Bhakta Lakshanas. They are said in the 7 verses, in the next 7 verses. Next. So it's called Bhakta Saptakam. Saptakam is 7 verses. Bhakti Saptakam or Bhakta Saptakam. Advesta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukha Sukakshami. One of my friends, a cardiac surgeon, he said, he went to his teacher. Just teach me only 3 words. Okay, 3 words. Advesta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha. This is enough. Just practice this. It takes a lifetime to practice even 1 out of 3. Advesta Sarva Bhutanam. Hate none, love all. In the Christianity, Jesus Christ, this is what he said. In fact, Christianity is a true Bhakti Yoga. In fact, it is Visishta Advaita, Swami Ranganathananda says. So, Advesta Sarva Bhutanam. So, Raga Dvesha Viyuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran. So, Sthita Prajna Lakshanas, Yogi Lakshanas, Trigunatita Lakshanas, Daivi Sampat Lakshanas, and Bhakta Lakshanas, they are all the same. They're all the same. We will see that. So, Sarva Bhutana Advesta. Because when you see me, Ahamatma Godakesha, Sarva Bhutashaya Sthita. So taking that, practice this. And then contemplate on this. Maitra, Karuna. So Maitra, so Sneha Bhava. You don't have to be so close to them, but you don't have to be an enemy. You don't see them as your foes. So Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. So these are the 4 which are said in Patanjali Yoga Sutras also. So friendship with like-minded people. Karuna, the people who are suffering, who are lesser than you, so who are suffering because of some problem or the other. So we say, sometimes, oh, this one is a difficult patient, a difficult parent. But it's not so. He's a patient in difficulty or parent in difficulty. So towards Karuna, compassion. Mudita, there's somebody who is greater than us. So be happy for them. Be happy for them. So then there are some who hate us for no reason. So upeksha, so just ignore them. Then be happy always. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma drudha nischayah. The one practicing one. Oh, these are all very difficult. I don't have any of those you're enumerating. They're all looking like Latin and Greek to me. Advesta, Sarva Bhutana, Maitra, Karuna. Yatatma, the practicing one, the one who is making an effort and making an attempt. Drudha Nischayaha, the one who has taken a vow to practice this. Mayarpita Mano Buddhihi, that bhakta is me priyaha, so dear to me. Yasman no dvijate loko, loka no dvijate chayaha, harsha marsha bhayodvegaihi, mukto yassacha me priyaha. That mukta, he is already Jivan Mukta. Who? The one who is not afraid of anyone or this world, and from whom this world or anyone is afraid of. You see, actually when Rama was going, even Maricha says actually, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma says. So when Rama Purva Bhashi, Hita Bhashi, Mita Bhashi, Smita Bhashi, Ruta Bhashi, before you greet, he greets Rama actually. Sometimes you ignore, you seeing that person, or you act as if you have not seen him. You say, hey, hello Raviji, so if you say, even if Raviji is ignoring me. Mita Bhashi, succinctly, but very well. Smita Bhashi with a smile. Ruta Bhashi, saying the truth. So that, and Pritam, so Priyamanaya Yatteham Priyamanaya Vakshami Hitakamyaya. So the one who is not afraid of anyone, because you're not doing any harm to anyone. And they also know that you are very harmless. So, and you are beyond Harsha and Amarsha. So happiness and sorrow, because they go in cycle. Matra Sparshastha Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada. So Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. Anapekshashu Dakshaha Udasino Gatavyadaha Sarvarambha Parityagi Yomad Bhaktas Me Priyaha. He's not craving for anything because he has got everything. Shuchihi. Shuchi is the one who is clean outside and inside. And Artha Shuchi, whatever he earns, is also very, very, very clean, very skillful, Daksha, because he practices. And then what does he practice? He practices that action with devotion. So then he becomes Daksha. So that is Yoga Karma Sukausalam. Ut Asena, the one who is above these mundane things. Mundane things. Gatavyadaha, his Vyadha is gone. Mate Vyadha Macha Vimodha Bhava. Yona Hrishyati na dveshti, na shochati na kankshati, shubha shubha parityagi, bhaktimanya same priyaha. So, as we talked about, Bhagavan talks about siddhas, the perfected ones. He also gives some hints for us to practice also, sadhakas. So the one who is beyond the pain and pleasure. We have seen that Dukkeshva Nudvigna Manaha, Sukheshu Vigata Spruhaha, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, Sthitadhir Munirichyate. Then Samasyatraucha Mitrecha Tatha Mana Apamanayo Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Samasanga Vivarjitaha Tulya Nindastu Tirmoni Santushto Yena Kena Chitam Aniketa Sthiramatihi Bhaktiman Me Priyo Naraha Sthiramati Sthita Prajna Sthira Buddhihi Asammodaha. So he shows his equipoise with enemies and with friends. So when he reached that state, where is the question of enemies? No, it is the people who are treating him like enemies. Like Dharmaraja was Ajatashatru. Duryodhana was not his enemy, but Duryodhana was treating Dharmaraja as enemy. So Mitra, the friends. Then Mana, Apamana, Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. So Swami Chinmayananda says, Sita, Ushna at physical level, Sukha, Dukkha at mental level, Mana, Apamana at intellectual level. You see? So at all levels, that equipoise is maintained. Whether you are praised or you are cursed. Ninda, Asarstuti. This is Dharmyamrutam. This is one which is endowed with all dharma. Dharanat iti dharma. Because of these great qualities. So this is upholding this entire universe. So this last verse is Phalashruti. First question was by Arjuna. Then in 18 verses, Swami Chinmayananda, I remember he saying that you cannot take away a word, you cannot put or add in another word in this Bhakti Yoga. That compact, that succinct, like sutras. Yetu dharmyamrutam idam yadhoktam paryupasate shraddhadhana mat parama bhaktastetiwa me priya. So these bhaktas are extolled. And Prahlada, he talks about how the many activities or any of the many activities, and these many are these ninefold. So that is Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu, Bhaktis Chetnava Lakshana. So Shavanam, listening, Tat Kathanam, Tat Shavanam, Kirtanam, singing his glory. Smaranam, remembering. Pada Sevanam. Seva means what? Service or following his footsteps. Archanam, worship. Vandanam, doing a salutation. Dasyam, to be his instrument. To be his instrument. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachan. So Dasyam. Then Sakhyam, treating him as a friend. Atmanivedanam, just surrendering unto him. And there are examples in our Puranas. Shavanam, Parikshit Maharaj for 7 days. Kirtanam, Shuka Maharshi, who actually said, so many Sankirtanacharyas. Smaranam, remembering like Prahlada. Padasevanam, so Lakshmi Devi, following wherever Vishnu goes. So Anapayane, Lakshmi Devi. Archanam, like Prithu Maharaj has done, and like Ambarisha has done. Then Vandanam, that one salutation which Gajendra has offered, Draupadi has offered, and that Vandanam Akrura has offered. Dasyam, who is better than Hanuman, to take an example. Sakhyam, who is better than Arjuna. Atmanivedanam, Bali Chakravarti, and so on. So in Adhyatma Ramayana also, all these are said. So Bhakti Lakshanas, Bhakta Lakshanas, Satsangatvam, reveling in that Tat Chintanam, Tat Kathanam, Annonyam, Tat Prabodhanam, reflecting on the glories, meditation, Dhyanam, singing and studying the scriptures, Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na Pramaditavyam, service to gurus, following their teachings and maintaining this good character with self-control, establishing the divinity and uttering mantra which has that power. So seeing the divinity everywhere, in everyone, at every place and at every time. And these are Bhakti Pushpas. These are Bhakti Pushpas. With this we'll conclude. So what are these? Ahimsa Prathamam Pushpam, Pushpamindriya Nigraha, Sarva Bhuta Daya Pushpam, Kshama Pushpam Visheshataha, Jnanam Pushpam Tapam Pushpam, Shanti Pushpam Tathaivacha, Satyam Astavidham Pushpam, Vishnu Pritikaram Bhavet. So you do the ritual. When you do the ritual, when you are offering a flower, ahimsa, non-violence. Second flower, indriya nigraha. It is our own self-control. And sarvabhuta daya, compassion to those who are in need. Kshama, forgiving yourself, forgiving others. Jnanam, the knowledge about the self. Tapas, that indriya aikagryam. So that austerity to achieve something. Shanti, peace, appeasing the mind. Then Satyam, Rutam. So all these are, so 8 Pushpas. And with this, we become like him. We live in his world. And we live with other bhaktas who are alike. And we become one with him. So this is called Sarupya Bhakti, Sarupya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, the one becoming like him. Then Samipya Mukti, the one staying closer, Upasana, staying closer to him. Salokya, the one who is living in the world of that supreme consciousness. Sayujya, becoming one with that supreme consciousness. Sarupyam tava pujane Shiva Mahadeveti Sankirtane Samipyam Shiva Bhakti Dhurya Janata Sangatya Sambhashane Salokyam cha Characharatmakatanudhyane Bhavani Pate Sayujyam Mama Siddhamatra Bhavati Swamin Kritarthosmyaham. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Thank you.
Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yah Patet Prayatat Puman Vishnu Padam Avapnoti Bhayashokadi Varjitaha Gita Adhyayana Silasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Krutani Cha Mala Nirmochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrut Gita Amruta Snanam Samsara Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimanyai Shastra Vistarai Yaswayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padman Minisruta Bharatamruta Sarvasvam Vishnu Vaktvad Vinisrutam Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanmana Vidyate Sarvopanishadu Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamrutam Mahat Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani Karmapyekam Tasya Devasya Seva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana va Prakrute Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayeti Samarpayami Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Love. The path of love and the path of wisdom, they both lead to that alone. However, the path of wisdom is not for mere mortals. It is arduous with many pitfalls and hazardous. The love expressed as a loving father, a caring mother, a mischievous child, or a dependable partner, when shifted from that person to the divine, takes on a sacred and unexplainable meaning. As the saints and singers from the north to the south and the east and west have shown the way through diverse expression methods as well as personal gods, the path of love or bhakti is the best. Those who fix their mind on the Lord and their thoughts concentrated like a light passing through a magnifying glass on the divine, who share the glories through their voices in verse with love and devotion, who have an unshakable faith in the celestial, they are indeed the best, says the Lord in the song Celestial.